with gold, medieval Europe used it. Gold circulated daily as money. It was the backbone of trade. Great fairs grew up across Europe, where all types of goods were bought and sold. A lot of gold changed hands. That became a problem. Merchants developed their own system of payments amongst themselves. They began to write notes to each other, promising to pay certain amounts of gold. They were like IOUs. Bills of exchange, as they were known, became quite complex. They began to replace gold in a lot of transactions, and for good practical reasons.
Pues que se ha transferido dinero desde Medina del Campo a Lyon, a Amberes, o desde Cartagena de Indias a Medina del Campo sin necesidad material de que vayan en caballos, mulas, cargados con bolsas de oro y plata, lo cual es muy engorroso y al mismo tiempo es muy peligroso, porque es el ataque de posibles robos, ataques de piratas, etcétera, etcétera.
In the busy trade fairs of the time, bills of exchange caught on. They didn't just pay for goods, but began to change hands as if they were a currency in their own right. They worked because in the end they could always be changed back to gold. They made trade more efficient and it flourished.
La aparición del billete para que aparezca el billete es necesario que los consumidores tengan confianza que ese papel tiene un valor. Y para que tenga un billete tenga un valor es que esté respaldado por una autoridad que es un banco. Y evidentemente un banco, cuanto más fuerte, más seguro, más importante sea, mejor es el respaldo financiero.
They were forerunners of modern banknotes. They weren't valuable in themselves like gold. They worked because the person or institution issuing them would honor them. They relied on trust and reputation. Early notes issued by the Bank of England were based on the good reputation of the bank to make payment if demanded. And this payment would be made with gold. The holder of a banknote could ask for it to be exchanged for gold at any time. The precious metal was still trusted above anything else. But banknotes were only used for large transactions. Gold and silver coins still made up most everyday money. Even coins made of precious metal rely on people trusting the mint where they are made. The Royal Mint built a reputation over centuries for coins that contained the right amounts of metal in the correct purity. But in the 17th century, this reputation was under threat. The threat didn't come from the mint itself, shortchanging the public with bad coins. It came from a widespread practice known as clipping.
Taking just a little bit of the coin away doesn't drastically affect the weight, but when numerous people start to successively clip the coin, the weight is reduced dramatically. It's the weight of the coin that gives it its value. Then the coin no longer has the value of 2 shillings and sixpence, but probably in this case the value now is 2 shillings.
The clippings could then be melted down and sold on as bullion, in some cases back to the mint itself. The damage to the integrity of British coins was serious. The secret weapon against the clippers was an invention from France. The mechanical coin press made the minting process much more sophisticated. Charles II ordered these machines for the Royal Mint.
It's at that time that making coins by machinery becomes the norm instead of the old-fashioned way of making coins by hand. It changes the whole name.